Hi, congratulations on finishing your breakthrough or release with MER session, as we call it in MAPS. I'm really excited that we did the work together, and I really wanted to do this post video because the work after a breakthrough or release with MER session is as important, if not more important, than the actual breakthrough. If you remember from our pre-videos and during the breakthrough session, I told you there were 4 requisites of change. We went over that multiple times. The first one was release work. We did that. The second one is coming up with new goals, new vision. That's what we do afterwards. The third one is taking action. And the fourth one is focusing on what you want. Now, I want to talk for a minute about the concept of inertia. So if somebody's doing something, then they have a certain amount of momentum going at that level. But prior to your breakthrough experience, you had a certain amount of momentum in that area of life. It probably wasn't moving forward as much as you wanted because we were doing a breakthrough in that area. So you had this amount of momentum. And in order to shift that momentum up, we actually have to bring as much energy and more, that's called inertia. We need to bring more energy than we had in order to move forward. Now, that's a kind of a tricky sounding thing. It sounds like I have to do more. The reality is, without baggage, I can do more. So in your breakthrough release with MER session, you released a lot of emotions, and limiting beliefs, a lot of limiting beliefs. And you had a lot of awarenesses. We wrote a lot of them down. Both in the detailed history, you had awarenesses, but during our release work too. And so without the baggage and with the new awarenesses, already you found it at the end, that it's easier to be more excited and more forward-facing in the work that you're doing in the area of life that you're focusing on than it was before the breakthrough. And yet we want it to stay. And so in order to do that, by the way, a breakthrough session, a release with MER session, was an amazing amount of energy. That already created that shift of inertia. You felt it, and that happened in requisite number 1. Now, in the afterwork, it has to happen in requisite number 2, 3, and 4. Let's talk about that. New vision, new goals. Right now, you're working on your end and aim goals. Really important that you focus on those and you get them done fairly quickly while you're still in a state where you're reviewing your awarenesses and you're in this place, okay? So your aim and end goals, you're going to be emailing me back and forth. I'll be telling you how to tweak them. You'll send them back and you'll bring them to your calls. But we're going to need to be communicating a lot because we need to get locked down these aim and end goals so they are absolutely in line with your values. Then the action. You came up with an action step, or several. We need to make sure that those are happening. And as you come up with your new aim and end goals, we create new actions. In fact, for some people, we create a whole new business plan after the breakthrough. For one thing, new things come to your mind that never came before because of your limiting beliefs, because of your baggage emotions. So taking action, taking consistent action, working on those plans in the weeks and months following the breakthrough is critical. But I think the fourth one is the hardest one. They're all challenging. It's the most challenging and maybe the most important to get enough inertia on to change the momentum. The fourth one is focusing on what you want. So you have habits of mindset that lasted years. And we did a breakthrough and we shifted that. And as I told you on your breakthrough, you can actually take your baggage back when we're done. You can focus on all those old things. You can go right back into those patterns if you want it. I don't know many people that went through that process that want it back. So the way you don't take it back is by focusing on what you want. And if you had this amount of momentum, and some of you people a lot of momentum on being and feeling the way they did, we have to bring that much momentum on the positive focus and more. So you focusing on what you want every day is critical. When I hear people say, oh, it kind of backslid a little bit. Well, okay, are you reading your awarenesses? Are you reading your avatar each day? Usually, that's what's missing. They chose not to focus on it every day. It was one of those things where it was like, well, that was nice for a few days, that avatar thing. But focusing on your awareness is keeping your mindset work. It's why we do this work afterwards, because we want you to have the inertia on the focus so that it actually creates a new kind of momentum in where you're going. And so we did the avatar, the aim and end. We're working on those. We did your values. We're going to elicit your values in another area. I'm going to teach you how to go get your values in 2 other areas. And then we're going to come up with your life values. And that would be the averages of values. Not averages, but the most predominant common ones. Those are kind of your life values. And then we're going to go through your prime concerns. Prime concerns being the things that are most important to you for you being who you want to be, doing what you want to do, and having what you want to have. When we come up with a list of prime concerns, that's your values and your prime concerns. We call that your daily philosophy. Once we do that, that's what you read every day. Not your avatar. You can read your avatar. It's good to read it some. You're focusing on your goals and you're taking action. We're definitely going to do that. But focusing on you want, that's this daily philosophy. That's this list of things that are important for you being who you are. So this work afterwards is critical. So number 1, we're not missing coaching calls. We cannot miss coaching calls. You and I are going to go back and forth a lot on email, especially as we're getting those goals and the avatar initially written. And so in the first few weeks, a lot of emails between us. And then you being 100% committed to focus on what you want every day. And remember this, it's not the same energy. You don't just focus on it some and let it, you have to do more energy to shift the momentum. So not just focusing on what you want the first week or 2. No, that way the breakthrough doesn't last. We got to do all 4 requisites of change. We need to change the momentum in all 4 so that we can get you powerfully moving forward and having that change last and create new patterns of being, new ways of thinking. So the afterwork of a breakthrough actually takes more commitment and more energy than the breakthrough itself. And it's probably the most important, because you getting aligned with your goals, you having goals that are aligned with your vision, that's what's hypercritical, super critical in you moving forward in your life and having the life and creating the life that you want. So, thanks for watching this video. Be sure you do your homework. Be sure you're reading your awarenesses as we're writing avatar and all those. Be sure you're focusing on those things, your values, the definitions, your awarenesses. You need to read those every day. Okay? And then I'll tell you what new things to read. We'll come up with that together in our coaching. All right? Thanks for watching this video. Congratulations on your breakthrough. Now, we got to do the rest of the work.